Good morning, gang. It's officially the 1-year anniversary from the date that Kendrick Lamar dropped Euphoria. And I went to the GNX tour last night. It was amazing, guys. It was fantastic, you know what I mean? So it was the Kendrick Lamar, SZA co-headlining GNX tour across America. Gang, did you go? That's the first question. Second question is, why not? What's wrong with you? You had to be there. It was a spectacular event. It was a spectacle. So, look, y'all. I want to start off by saying go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Share this with a friend. I'm about to break down for you why you had to go to the Kendrick Lamar GNX tour, why you have to buy tickets and fly out to another city if he's already left your town, okay? I'm going to reveal that information, and I'm going to save the very best part for last. You know what I mean? What exactly did he do to get at Drake? Stay tuned. Before we get into any of the actual show, let's get into the breakdown of the show. So, it was just Kendrick and SZA, to my knowledge. And what they did was they took turns. So Act 1 was Kendrick Lamar, 4 songs. Then they did 30 for 30, and then they went into a SZA set, and that's all part of Act 1. Act 2 was completely Kendrick. That transitions over to Act 3, which I believe is completely SZA, which transitions back into Act 4, which is completely Kendrick. Then we have, Act 4 is SZA and Kendrick. Then we have Act 5, which is completely Kendrick. Act 6, which is completely SZA. And then Act 7, culminating with Kendrick, where he performed Not Like Us. You knew what it was. You knew where I was going with that, okay? So it was a cool setup. I mean, it did provide for a lot of opportunity to really not get bored for too long if you weren't there for one artist or the other. See, me personally, I was there for Kendrick. I wasn't there for SZA, though I am a girl's girl. Now, getting into the SZA set. One of the coolest things about the setup was how the set changed from between Kendrick's set and SZA's set. So you have this giant concrete wall forming these monuments, these black male monuments. And subtly, as SZA comes out and the set turns into her music and her themes, you have this floral, flowers, flourishing, growing out of the wall. So you have it kind of transitioning from hardness to softness right in front of your eyes. And it's not just the music that changes, but it's the whole mood. So I really think that's cool how they incorporated that throughout the show to showcase the difference in these worlds. And again, as the show evolves and Kendrick's setup gets more into the themes of Americana and SZA's get into more of the themes of growth and evolution, the two sets interact less, but they still keep that through line all the way throughout. So I think that was really, really, really cool. So, look, like I said, guys, went to the Kendrick Lamar GNX tour last night, featuring SZA as his co-headliner. Let's save the nitty-gritty. Let's start with SZA. Hey, guys, I'm a girl's girl, okay? Right? I'm a woman's woman, okay? So I had to get there to see my girl SZA last night performing. So here is what I took away from her performance as a girl's girl, right? She got on stage, she did her thing. It was a little weird because the whole theme of the SZA set was metamorphosis, evolution, evolving from a caterpillar to maybe a butterfly, or a girl to a woman. Somebody who has issues and struggles with regular everyday things, and how you can evolve through the music of SZA. All right. Now, for me, it was a little lackluster. I'm not a SZA fan, but what I did realize last night is there are very many white women who are SZA fans. So, SZA had these insects and praying mantises and beautiful fields with lush meadows and things. She had dancers fanning her with flowers. It was really cool. I'm gonna keep you guys abreast of what happened. I was with it until the praying mantises. Now, right? It got a little, man hatey when those praying mantises came out. Because praying mantises, they make a child with the man, then they eat the man. So when that part of the metamorphosis happened, I was a bit dismayed as a male. As a girl's girl, I was very pleased because I was like, yeah, girl, super empowered. So after that, so if you're here for that SZA set, I might not be your guy. So I'm going to do a quick breakdown. It was very weird, right? It was extremely weird because it was the process of a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. But then that metaphor got a little mixed when they brought out the man-hating praying mantises. So I'm going to leave that where it is. But ladies, make your own freaking video. You know what I mean? I don't care about SZA. So then we get to Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar killed it, guys. So he comes out, like I already told you, the show started with Kendrick, right? He starts the show off with Whacked Out Murals. Right after that, Squabble Up. Then we get into King Kunta. Then we get into, Element or TV Off. It's not enough. Two solid niggas left, but it's not enough. Two bitches not a really step, but it's not enough. Say you figured to myself, but it's not enough. I get on the head. I make the niggas mad. I take the G-pad. Boom. So right out the gate, we're going super hard. And so the things that I noticed, right? First thing I noticed is if you haven't been, you gotta go. Second thing I noticed, the themes. The themes of this show are very important, is with all Kendrick Lamar artwork. So the themes of this show are LA community, right? And then we have Americana steeped in blackness. So we have, it's a very similar theme to what was going on with the Super Bowl. We got Kendrick surrounded by black faces, right? In a very notable way. And then we have these odes to LA dropped in there. So we start off the show with Whacked Out Murals, the Hispanic singer in the background singing. And we have this art, this graffiti that stylized graffiti that was made popular by Hispanic gangs and LA lowrider culture, you know what I mean? And then it was commercialized by artists like Mr. Cartoon and made really famous by shows like Pimp My Ride. So that's how we start the show, with that very bold, very iconic LA Hispanic culture, gang culture imagery, right? Right after that, we get into the next song, and guys, I was blown away. There are these statues, these monuments of black men, black figures, but in the modern day sense. They're not like Nat Turner. They're just regular street guys. And Kendrick is up there looking larger than life in front of these monuments, which were superb, right? And, you know, statues, monuments, those are things that you build for people who are very influential to a culture. So again, Lamar's trying to double down on that idea that just a regular everyday black man, a regular everyday black person, is just as important to this American culture as the monuments in Washington. You know what I mean? Okay, and so the whole time, all of this action is being blasted across two giant screens that are separated by this staircase, right? With the light being shined down on Kendrick. So he uses that area a lot of the time to just do the performance. And then he uses the screen to kind of flash different imagery to really instill, to really drive home the message. For the most part, those two giant screens is how Kendrick really displayed the themes of this show. Now, the themes of this show are really important, and they kind of stem from where he was going with the Super Bowl performance. We all saw it, Americana, gang culture, LA culture, all mixed into one, how they interact, how they affect each other, and what we can do moving forward so that these things can coalesce into a more cohesive picture. So he's starting out real heavy with the production value, with the messaging, and then of course it just keeps going, right? So as we move forward in the show, we start to see Kendrick's dancers coming out more. They're actually on the stage with him, they're sitting on the stair steps with him, and they're moving around with him. And a lot of the time, I really get that Kendrick's work is reminiscent of Ernie Barnes, right? The artist who drew those pictures with black people dancing, their bodies moving. And a lot of those pictures represent to me just blackness filling up a space. Not necessarily an individual black face, but the blackness of the environment filling up the space. And that's what I felt last night when I was watching that Kendrick Lamar show. A lot of the time when I would see his dancers, right, behind him, the way their movements were so precise, yet bold, and their gestures were hard, yet fluid. You know what I mean? They were hard but fluid at the same time. It really, for me, emphasized Kendrick. You know, it made him feel larger than life with that blackness around him. And for me, that just represents what he's trying to showcase about the black experience. Their presence in their movement seems to magnify Kendrick's own presence. Each time they dance, whether they're beating on the stage like a high school like a high school freestyle, or they're actually in deep choreography. They just serve to accentuate what he does. And then let me touch on that part that I just said. A lot of this feels like Kendrick is hearkening back to an earlier time, a moment in childhood where he dreamed of this moment. He's featuring things like, you know, random beating on the stage. He's featuring these songs that are not so thoughtful but are more energetic. And you could see it in his performance. He's just relishing in the fact that he's finally made it all this way. I want to make sure I'm touching on these themes in the right way, because not only does Kendrick, again, include all of these themes of LA community and Americana steeped in blackness, but he intertwines them. So I really need you guys to go ahead and go to the show so you can see these images with Kendrick Lamar performing on top of the car in front of the moving city background.
For every good nigga that passed away, sent 2.5 million on the average day. I deserve it all. Put my name by the real leaders. Keep my crowds loud beside the beats. I deserve it all. More money, more power, more freedom. Everything heaven allowed us, bitch. I deserve it all.
Absolutely gorgeous. And again, that harkens back to Kendrick Lamar being a kid, just hoping for the opportunity to get on stage one day at State or at Mercedes-Benz Stadium and sell it out. You know, if he didn't feel that way when he made that, that's what it made me feel. So, gotta give him full credit for that. And there was another performance with Kendrick Lamar during Reincarnated with the dancer sitting along the steps.
I got this fire burning every one within. Don't let it go from who I used to be. I'm shit. Every day a new version of me. The third of me, the minute to minute, the pain, pressure in the frozen cover.
And the light just boldly shining down on Kendrick, right? And again, you have Kendrick rapping through the perspective of Tupac, the light shining down on him. This other group not really paying attention to him. Again, it just felt like this moment where Kendrick Lamar was expressing a moment from his youth, where he truly wanted to introduce his community to this light. It really felt reflective of his relationship that he constantly talks about with Tupac. So definitely very, very invested in that. Now, Kendrick also had dancers dressed like city workers, city employees, again, referencing the community. During certain songs, he had the LA murals behind him. During certain songs, he had LA radio stations behind him. Again, doubling down. He had the printed newspaper stories, tapping in on that Americana. Again, these newspaper stories are surrounding his face as he performs on the monitor. He has dollar bills with his face as the prominent face on the currency.
And we hate. I let the preachers go. He's getting weak. We gon' be alright.
On the monitor. So again, he's doubling down on these themes of blackness, overcoming Americana. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it the whole way. So, over 52 songs, you know what I mean? The question is, was the playlisting? And guys, he killed it. So he touched on most of the stuff from GNX, but then he threw in our favorites. Money Trees, All Right, Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. He even threw in Swimming Pools, Count Me Out, things like that. And so he really caught a vibe with the playlist as well. Now, these are the moments right now. This is what you've been waiting for, the surprises, right? Here are the surprises that Mr. Kendrick Lamar included in this show. First of all, Family Matters got a whole new verse. So if you thought Keem was the only one swagging over them horns, Kendrick said, nah, check this out. So that was fire. Go see the show for that reason. Guys, I'm so sorry, but if you weren't in Atlanta, you won't experience this. Playboy Cardi came out to do good credit with my boy Kendrick Lamar. They did good credit live. Cardi was Cardiing it up, okay? Kendrick had his dancers standing there very firm, very stoic, very disciplined. Cardi's yelling in their face, ah, like that. You know what I mean? So that was a vibe. That was fun. Definitely unexpected for me. Loved every second of it. Now, guys, this moment right here, this was my very favorite moment. My favorite song, Kendrick Lamar all time, Mad City, he did it. Except this time there was a twist. He removed the original beat and put it over the top of that Sweet Love Anita Baker soul sample.
Let's get it back now. Where you from, nigga? What do you know where you from, my nigga? Where your grandma stay from, nigga? This Mad City I run. If I lose in grips, all got along. They probably coming down by the end of the song. Let's go. Seem like the whole city go against me. Every time I hit the street, I hear ya.
Kendrick, release that. Release that. When the tour is done, when you got all the ticket sales accounted for, release that song, buddy. Or one of you internet DJs, cook it up for me and send it my way, because that was fire. We got Kendrick Lamar standing there. This is right after Swimming Pools, I believe. He did Swimming Pools a cappella, then he goes into Mad City. Dog, he got the background singers for Mad City. He got the Anita Baker sample. And it was lovely, folks. I'm going to go ahead and throw it in here. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it fully like I did, but I'm going to throw it in here for you to hear.
This is not a tape recorder saying that he did it, but ever since that day, I was looking at him different. It was back when I was down, Joey Packer, Pakistan on every porch is fine. We adapted from Pepper Man, Porkers in the town. With the sliding doors, fuck us up, fuck you shooting for if you ain't walking up, you fucking plump.
Another little surprise he had. He had a slightly different sample for Man in the City as well, but pretty much it was the same song. Now, the visuals for that were absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful overlay of Kendrick Lamar on top of a car. I mean, we did have a slightly different beat for Man in the Garden, but nothing major, guys. So, moving on. And I got to let you know, after last night, I'm a fan of Dodger Blue. That song came alive at the stadium, okay? So if for no other reason, go see the tour just to hear that song live. All right? And now finally, for the surprises, guys, I don't know what's next, because the woman from the Luther video was in a montage, right? She was in a montage.
Love and hate, they go hand in hand. Love and hate are both fueled by the same thing. Let's try it.
What?
Let's ask the cookie, is this love or is this hate?
I'm not asking that fortune cookie nothing.
What, you don't fuck with the fortune?
Well, I'm curious.
No lies about me, or truths about you.
Seem theatrical. So Lamar, Kendrick, are you doing a movie? Are there more visuals? I think there might be. And that wraps up the surprises section. So again, go see the Kendrick Lamar show, if for no other reason than just to be surprised randomly. All right.
Drop, 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 drop.
So, did he diss Drizzy? Aren't you tired of it, guys? Because he didn't really diss Drizzy. He did touch on a couple of things through the deposition storytelling framework. But it's so old news that does it really matter? You know what I mean? Does it really matter? So go ahead and check out this footage of the show, because that's what was really impressive. The work that he put in. The time, the lights, the illusions, the smoke, the dancers, the setup, the crew. So let's focus on that, right? Go ahead, like, subscribe, share this video, head on over to Ticketmaster and get you a ticket to the GNX tour, right? Get you a ticket to the show so that Kendrick Lamar can know. That was not a great rhyme. But anyway, that's my review of the GNX tour, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Go ahead and tap in. Check out another video. Send the Cash App. Do the merch. Hug your wife. High five your kids. See you next time.